Hey guys, Chetna here from Me with a Pencil, and today we'll be learning how to give bounce effect to your lettering or calligraphy. Um, what is bounce lettering? Bounce lettering is something that you give modern touch to your letters, and it goes from basic to little very playful, and it has a kind of bouncy dancing effect to it. So that is what it is, and when we start I'll show you how it goes, and I'll show you 5 different ways of doing bounce lettering. So let's just get started. So for materials I'm using a grid paper, and I'm using Tombow Fudenosuke soft tip brush pen and a Pentel Sign brush pen. um, yeah, so we need a grid paper. You can use a ruled paper, or if you are using a plain paper, make sure to make a guideline on it. I'll just show how to do a guideline. Here we have 4 guidelines. So these are the lines we'll be working on. The calligraphy letters are made. This is the baseline, very important. So when we write into basic calligraphy, our letters look something like this. This is a very regular basic style of writing. Now I'm going to show you how this letter will look like when it's bounced. Oops, I wrote bouncy, but I think you got the gist of how it goes. So here the guideline is important because we have to make our bounce below the baseline or above the X height. So that is how you can play around with it. As you can see, if I would have written E over here, I would have made it a little smaller compared to the one we have made it over here. So this is regular, this is bounce. So that's how you get a bounce dancing lines. So as you can see, this is our guideline, and it is going below that, and few of them are going above that. It's just not sitting in between the X height. So I'm going to show you 5 different ways. So I have this sheet made, and I will also give you this sheet so you can download for free. The link is given in the caption. So in this sheet I have break down the bounce style in different ways. So I'll just go through it and explain them. So the first one that we have, so that is an alternate bounce. So I'm marking the guideline. The baseline is very important over here. See, I'm writing Monday. So that's Monday. That's a simple regular one. This is regular. I'm going to show you how it looks when it's bounced. So that's baseline. So as you can see, alternate by making it alternate bounce, I mean is you have to bounce your strokes in alternate ways. If you don't know what I'm talking about, these are the calligraphy basic strokes. As you can see that I've not made this written this continuously. It is broke down into pieces to write the whole word Monday. So for that, I have broke down my all the strokes. So if you are not familiar with the strokes that I'm talking about, you can check my video. I'll link it to the top right corner of this video. So you can check that first out and you can come back and try this out again. So here we have made the stroke and then another stroke which is going a bit above the X height, and another stroke that is going a bit below the baseline, and then we have O which is going above the X height a bit. Usually my O's loops always goes above the X height, but if you want to count that into it, you can count that as a bounce. And then we have N, and then we have a stroke to the N, which is the second stroke of the N, and then I have made it on bounce which goes below the baseline. And then I made this oval smaller, and then I have extended the ascender below. And similarly goes with the A. This part goes below the baseline and the curve, and this with the Y. So here you can also see that my strokes are rounded over here, and here they are a bit narrower compared to the one we have in the regular ones. So whenever you do a bounce lettering, mostly we tend to make our the transitions narrower compared to the one when we write regular. So that's how it's done. So this is an alternate bounce. The second way you can do is you can keep your baseline constant and you can take all your stroke above the X height. Not all, it is mostly alternate. All of the bounce mostly is alternate bounce, like alternate stroke bounce. I like that way. You can try doing it for all the letters, but make sure to have a balance in between. So as you can see, there's a balance in here. It doesn't look too much bounced or too much short or small letters in between, or too much regular letter. So we write Monday. As you can see, there's not much of a difference, but there are few things that the bounce is over here at this point, here, here, and here. This stroke of Y also shows that it's bounce. This difference between the stroke height also referred to as bounce. As you can see here, this part is smaller, this part is bigger. So that also makes it looks bounced, but not much of it, but it is going slightly above the X height. So that's how you do when it is above the X height and keeping the baseline constant. But make sure that the strokes are narrower. That makes it look much more of a bounce letter rather than this. This is quite wide. And then we do the next one. That is the expanded version, where you play around with the style. This is like a different style of writing. Also, it adds a good bounce when it is written in a bounce effect. Looks very nice. So let's mark the guidelines. So I forgot to click start button when I started doing this part. So I'll show it to you again. So here, when I was writing, so I was showing you the expanded version. So this is the version where it looks nice when you can do it in a bounce style. I like it that way, so maybe you can try where you do an expanded version like. So this is more like an expanded version, as you can see here. And the letters, the X height of all the letters are not in equal size. So here, as I started my M, I gave this a big bounce and then a smaller bounce and a bounce below the baseline here. And as you can see, the N, M, the A, all of them are like kind of the same size, but a few letters in between, like the second letter I could say of the word, is smaller compared to the. This works good with the ovals letter, like the O, the D, the A, and all those letters. So as you can see, I've made this smaller, and it is not exactly on the X side and not exactly on the baseline. It's smaller than the exact size of the letter. And then it goes alternate. Here is an equal size, and then again this oval of the D gets smaller, and the I expanded the ascender of the D, and then again I have added a smaller A like the oval, and then expanded the undertone curve of this. In all this, the common thing is the narrow transition. Here also I made a narrow transition, but it went a little extra, like an extended ending stroke to connect to the next line. So that's how you can do this expanded version where it looks nice when you give a bounce effect. And now we have the last style, that is a letter word where you don't connect and just leave the letter bounced and open. So for example, so here there are a few places where I did not connect the letter. So that's totally okay to do that, and that also gives an unending stroke to the letter. I like it that way when you do such kind of letter where you don't want to connect but just leave it open and to give it a different look. So it looks good with the bounce style, and as you can see, I've used an alternate bounce and also the one that I had applied over here, big and small stroke after each letter. So it goes good with the ovals, um, the small entry strokes of the N you can do. So you can play around like that. So that's how you can do bounce lettering in different ways and apply and make it in different lettering styles. So yeah, that's all for that. And okay, and also few things that if you had notice that I had made where there are double strokes, like the M had 3 strokes. I had played around with the stroke sizes. So it looks one is bigger, one is smaller. Similar goes with the N. And if you do letter U, it would go same thing, like, and then W, as you can see over here, or you make this smaller and this bigger. So this is the baseline and the X height. As you can see, they are not of equal sizes. You can, when there are 2 strokes like the undertone, overtone, you can play around with that. I can show an example of H, So if this is an edge, this is an baseline, I can take my compound curve a bit low, like that. So that looks very nice. And if you have an ascender or a descender, you can just increase the stroke so it looks just balance out the whole bounce effect to the whole word. So it's all about balancing the word and giving a right amount of space and giving right amount of bounce to your letters. Make sure that you don't go too low with the letters. For example, if you make your letters like this, so as you can see, there's too much bounce in it. I mean, it for me, to my eyes, it doesn't look correct. I mean, it's too low, it's going too low, and there's no balance in the bounce. As you can see, that this stroke is too big, and then this becomes too small compared to the letter that you have next to it, and this becomes too small too. So so I feel that there need to be a balance. Make sure that you don't bounce too much, go below the baseline maybe a little bit, but not all over to the ascender or the descender line or the ascender line. So it's always looking for the right amount of bounce in the word, and also the right amount of stretching of your letter strokes. It all depends on, and then you have to balance it out. So yeah, that's how I like to do the bounce, and I hope you enjoyed the process of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something. If you like the video, please like to our like this video, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to comment below. And also you can let us know what else would you like to see on our YouTube channel as a tutorial, so uh, we can make a video of that too. Also, if you want to try calligraphy and you don't have a brush pen, you can also check my video on how to do calligraphy with pencil and folk calligraphy with a regular pen. So I'm linking it to the top right corner of this video, and you can check that out too. And thank you for watching, guys. Do not forget to download the practice sheet that I've shared with you. That will really help you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.